Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Friday morning. It's now the 13th day of June, 2025, and this is the morning briefing coming to you from the home weather office. Looking out the window, it's a beautiful morning. There's a little breeze. Temperatures are once again cool and comfortable. Nice for now approaching the middle part of June. And we're going to have some nice weather ahead. And I'll even take a look way down the road to see if there are any possible changes. I usually don't like to go out into fantasy land, but today I will. And I'll even speculate like I wouldn't possibly do if I was still on TV. I'll get to all of that in just a minute. All right, let's see what's happening this morning. Once again, we have clear skies in the valley, the foothills, and the Sierra. We have marine layer along the coast that'll erode a little bit, but this is just a great setup for Northern California. And we have the marine layer, which is in pretty good shape. Here it is from the Fort Ord Profiler. This is, again, what you'd like to see in the month of June. This is 24 hours ago. It was up around 2,000 feet, dipped down late yesterday afternoon, then rebuilt a little bit. Maybe not quite as thick as it was yesterday at this time. So we may see temperatures bounce up slightly today, but very, very slightly, and still be in a very comfortable range. And so far this month has been pretty nice. So these are the temperatures at Executive Airport so far in the month of June in Sacramento. So these are the highs, the lows, the average, and if there's any rain, it would be over in this column here. So I've highlighted here the warmest day we've seen, 95 degrees back on the 4th. Now do remember the last 2 days of May were, I think both those days were 102. So we have been over 100, but we haven't been over 100 so far this month. And look at recently, 89, 85, 81, 87, and today will likely be in that 87 to maybe 90-ish range and likely stay in this range as we head into the weekend. So all in all, looking, pretty comfortable for this time of year. So the question is, well, how long can we stay with this sort of very comfortable pattern in the month of June? All right, so let's take a look at the GFS. I'm going to show you the 6Z GFS, big low up here. So there's Washington. So it's way up to the north, but the flow around it keeps this general troughiness in our area, keeping temperatures in a comfortable range and keeping the big high with the possibility of heat well away from us. As we head through the weekend, you can see that we keep this area of troughiness around. The high begins to build, but it's down over New Mexico. And that means that it'll start to get hot in Arizona. No shock there. But for Northern California and Central California, very nice. Then another little wave goes by, encouraging the onshore breeze, but nothing in the way of precip with that. Let's see what day are we up to now. Now we're up to Tuesday. Maybe a little bit of a weak ridging right in here, perhaps getting temperatures into the low 90s. And then beyond that, toward the middle and end of next week, another deep trough moves in, and as long as you have a low up here, so again, there's Washington, here's Oregon, so low here, we're into a really good pattern. Here's where the high is centered. It's over here over Texas. It's on the east side of the Rockies. That means that all of the western states would be relatively mild. And then that trough digs in even more. Now, let's see, what day are we up to now? Now we're up to Saturday, a week from tomorrow. So now we're getting out into the areas a little bit less reliable. But if you look at this pattern, the models have been actually relatively consistent with a pattern like this, with details to remain to be seen. But yeah, as we head toward, now what day are we up to? Now we're way out into fantasy land. Now we're up to the 25th. More troughiness, more comfortable temperatures. And let's see, we should be almost to the end of the model now, up to hour 360. This is Saturday the 28th. So this would mean nothing in the way of heat for the next 2 weeks if this pattern now holds. Now this is why I'm going to say that, talk about things that I wouldn't dare get into if I was on television, just because you just don't go there. But because this is YouTube, I'm going to. So, can we go through June without 100 degrees? I mean, if the model is right, that would at least get us to the 29th without anything in the way of hundreds. So I have my handy dandy list here of 100-degree days. Back in 2023, we only had one day over 100 in the month of June, and it came in on the 30th. So it just kind of snuck in under the wire, and that was our first 100 of the year. Last year we did 9. Now, if you go back, let's see, you have to go back to 1998. That year, we went through both May and June without hitting 100 degrees. We didn't hit 100 until July the 14th, I think. 11th or 14th. I can't read my own writing. But the thing about that is, and this is what I'm going to throw some caution for you. So let's just say we go through June without 100 degrees. And that would mean that as of July 1st, we'd only have 200-degree days. Nice, right? Well, 1998, we ended up with 10 days in July over 100, and then 16 in August, and another 5 in September for a total of 31, which is above average. So even though we didn't have one until well into the month of July, we still ended up with a pretty hot spike from the second half of July through August and the first part of September. So there was about, 7 or 8 week period where it was hot, and it was hot a lot. So, this is just speculation at this point. The bottom line this morning is that we have a really nice weekend coming up, comfortable temperatures, and it looks as though this will last into next week. And so no sign of any heat on the way, but also keep in mind that the model I showed you, especially past 7 days, it can change, and we could, today's the 13th, by the 21st, 22nd, we could easily see the ridge, what do you know, it's farther west, and we're going to see temperatures over 100. So it's just speculation and just kind of fun on a Friday morning at this point. The other thing I want to talk about, I did have somebody show some interest in this yesterday, about the weather for the U.S. Open. And, for those of us that like to watch the pros struggle, we don't want to see it rain because the rain would soften the golf course. And this is rain on Saturday morning. I don't think it's going to delay play or anything like that, but it does look as though they'd see some rain on Saturday morning and then maybe some scattered showers beyond that. But it's this rain right here, and this is off the HRRR. And let's go to total precip accumulation. So how much rain are we talking about? Maybe as much as a half an inch of rain. So that would certainly soften the golf course quite a bit, which makes it, less fun for us, but better for the players, I guess. So if you are planning on watching the Open this weekend, I don't think there'll be any weather delays. I don't think there are thunderstorms in there or enough rain to soak the golf course so much that they have to stop play. It's just that it'll get softer, and pros like it that way. So they may see better scores on Saturday and Sunday than what we're seeing right now. I also have friends that occasionally wager on these sorts of things, not me. So you may want, if you're in that camp, maybe you want to take that under advisement, that the scores should get lower over the course of the weekend. That's everything I've got for you this Friday morning. Go out and make it a great weekend. It should be very comfortable. Have a great day. I'll talk with you later.